If you write down what your goals are in life, then the chances of you achieving them increases by at least 10x. Why? Otherwise, you become directionless and you get in a daily grind of thinking that, oh, well, I have to go to work today, as today is another day for another dollar. And I've been there many, many times. Okay. So we really need to change the lens by which we see our world. And let's talk about the resume now. A resume is nothing more than a backwards looking document of what we've already done. It's like studying history, which we basically only do in school. I want to take a radically different approach to the whole resume creation process right now. As such, we're going to start with a life-altering or life-improving goal-setting workshop. And this will really, really motivate you to really step up your game and start achieving many more goals, okay? And once we create our 10-year goals, then we're going to basically create a simple version of our perfect resume in 10 years today. Now, I got the idea from Jeff Bezos, who of course is the brilliant founder and CEO of Amazon.com. And he has all of his product managers, meaning the people that are in charge of Kindle, Amazon Prime, Amazon Video, etc. He has all these product managers create press releases today that will be released way, way, way in the future. And he does this so that he can kind of force his managers to think of goals longer term, the goal being the press release that they already wrote in the future. And there's a gap they have to fill, okay? And I really believe in coming up with a 10-year, easy-to-create, simple resume before creating your actual resume, as it kind of forces you to think longer term and create your current resume with the expectations of achieving great things over the next 10 years. Now, why do we make a resume anyway? It's so we can achieve a short-term goal. Well, what is that short-term goal? Well, of course, it's get a job. But why do we get a job? Because it can help us achieve our short-term goals. But why should we make a resume just to reflect, what we are trying to accomplish right now today? If the goal of a resume is going to be longer-term focused, then shouldn't we make a long-term focused resume 10 years in the future right now? Okay. And what we'll do, again, is when we create that next section, okay, it'll be fun and you'll love it, okay? We're going to fill the gap, okay? There's going to be a big gap of stuff we together have to accomplish to make that 10-year resume a reality, okay? Now, the problem with many jobs today is, again, we're so focused on the short term. Wall Street investors care about quarterly earnings, meaning they report earnings 4 times a year, and they don't really care about long-term investments. And Warren Buffett is the greatest investor ever because he is long-term focused. However, I know that often we all don't have a choice because we got to pay the bills. I get it, okay? But at some point in our lives, enough is enough, okay? We need to do what we're passionate about in life, most passionate about. If you wake up in the morning and you tell yourself you're going to work, then with all due respect, you're doing it wrong. You need to find your passion. You need to find your raison d'être. What is your purpose? What were you put on this earth to accomplish professionally? You need to find that sense of purpose, that passion. And once you find that, you'll never work another day in your life. Now, I went through my life making many, many, many career changes, okay? I worked so hard at my resume and interviews, as you saw in the last section. And I was really, really successful at changing careers many times. But you know what? I was an absolute failure in life. Why? Because I wasn't happy enough. I would get the job of my dreams after I worked hard for it, and I'd be happy for a little while, maybe because I was short-term focused, and maybe it was because I worked on Wall Street. I don't know, but that wasn't just it. I got a job in consulting after undergrad, and I wasn't happy in consulting after a while. I started a tech company. I would spend 25% of my time whenever I worked for somebody else thinking about, oh my gosh, what's my next job going to be? I got to change careers eventually because I'm not happy. And it hit me. It hit me then that I was trying to get a job instead of trying to get a passion. You see, I had it all wrong. Okay, so the Dalai Lama came up with this incredible quote. He said that the problem with Western society is that we sacrifice our health, our entire lives to make money. And then at the end of our lives, we sacrifice all of our money to maintain our health. And then we look back upon our lives and realize we never really lived to begin with. Okay, so again, I know that we get jobs most of the time because, of course, we have to support our family. But again, enough is enough. Okay, at some point, we just got to say, I want to do what I want to do because I want to feel a sense of purpose. Knowing that what I'm doing was what I was put on this earth to do professionally. Okay, we got to think that way. You weren't meant to work for somebody else for your entire life. Okay, you were meant to be self-employed at some point. Okay, working for someone else is nothing more than a stepping stone for you. Okay, so instead of just focusing on making a resume because we don't like the job wherein it's broken, let's look at the bigger picture. Okay, what would make us happy professionally speaking? Okay, why do musicians and professional athletes and artists why do we love watching them, right? Or the stuff they create? Well, there's many reasons, but all of those people I mentioned, those professional athletes, musicians, artists, whatever, they don't have a job. They have a passion. Why can't we think like that? Paul McCartney doesn't get up in the morning and say, I'm going to work today. I'm going to work today. He doesn't say that. He creates what he wants to create, and he doesn't care what people think about what he creates. Okay, and our passions can change as we get older as well. Okay, you wake up one day and think, I'm just not feeling it anymore. This is a job. It's a job, and that's it. It's not my passion. Okay, so you kind of think sometimes, why am I wasting my time spending more time with people that are not my friends and not my family if I'm not feeling fulfilled at work? Why do I go there? Well, I looked at my resume recently, actually, and you can go to my LinkedIn profile and you'll see it's a little scattered. I realized that, oh my goodness, I kept changing careers or even majors at school every few years. One semester I'd want to study sciences so I can be a doctor. The next semester I'm studying accounting and finance and getting a D in accounting because I tried to memorize accounting stuff and I didn't enjoy it. And I was taking all those courses to learn how to make money. Not that many people in life that chase money are happy. Okay. Try spending some time with kids whose parents are billionaires or extraordinarily wealthy. For the most part, unfortunately, they're not happy. And quite often, they rarely saw one of their two parents growing up because their parents were focused on creating even more wealth and more wealth and more wealth, and sent the kids away to boarding school. Okay, so a university recently flew me to India. Okay, and they flew me to Mumbai and to Delhi. Okay, to teach a couple of business courses, and we drove through the slums in Mumbai, and all I could see was happiness. My goodness, they were all so happy. Go to any park in the world on a Sunday and look around. You usually see people that likely don't have much or might be poor hanging out with huge groups of their family members, and they're laughing and they're enjoying life. Remember when you were much younger in school and we laughed uncontrollably until it hurt. Why don't we do that as much anymore now that we work? I don't get it. What's changed? I guess it's because school was fun. So I guess we got to find our passion or find our fun, as crazy as that sounds. Again, as I mentioned, I kept switching careers or jobs, and I wasn't happy. And so what I would do is I'd go to the gym every day because it would release serotonin. When you worked out, it releases serotonin, and you're supposed to feel happy. And it did help me a bit, don't get me wrong, okay? But then I woke up one night, in the middle of the night, and I started writing. It was kind of like my Jerry Maguire moment, right, in that movie. But I kept writing and writing and writing. And I wrote this article, which I eventually published in my Inc.com column. And I recently was humble enough to have been asked to give the keynote speech at the San Francisco State graduation. And I read this article out to them and really poured my heart into reading it to them. And I want to share it with you as well, if that's okay. I feel like my dad used to go like that. And I say, Dad, put it close to your face. You can see it. Well, my eyesight's getting worse. Here we go. Okay. See if you can hear me. Yeah, we're good. Okay. I had a dream that I went to a corporate picnic and had to tell my kids to please be on their best behavior so it wouldn't limit my career. Actually, this wasn't a dream. It was a nightmare. If I had to create a title for my nightmare, it would be called Forced Family Fun. It doesn't matter how many companies you start in business. All you have to be is right one time. Don't spend the rest of your life thinking what could have happened. Make it happen starting today. Many famous people started their business empires out of frustration and failure. Jay-Z couldn't get a record label to sign him, so he started his own record label. Thank God he couldn't get signed. Otherwise, he wouldn't have created his own label, right? Many people don't realize that Bill Gates' first major business venture didn't work out for him. And Thomas Edison failed more times than the top 50 entrepreneurs in the world did combined. Wow. Well, maybe the aforementioned business icons realized that they were in fact creating a new market out of frustration and the hope of having the freedom of living their dreams. Starting your own business should not be about money. It should be about passion and freedom. Freedom to live life on your terms. Freedom to have to never answer to anyone ever again. Freedom to set your own corporate culture right away. Freedom to be able to take an entire week off and do charity work if you want to, or take your kids to school in the morning and pick them up at night as well. Freedom to spend more time during the week with your parents, significant others, and friends that share your core values when it comes to entrepreneurship. Freedom to know that if you work for yourself, it is the ultimate meritocracy. Freedom to know that there are no limitations anymore in your career. Freedom to know that those that might have thought of you as a threat at your previous company can no longer hold you back. Freedom from all politics, freedom to create, freedom to donate, freedom to be you. Here are 8 reasons that you must write that business plan starting tonight after you finish my course, so that you can live life on your terms. Number 1, freedom to know that working for yourself creates a simple formula so you know how much you are going to be compensated. As a result of the freedom of self-employment, you don't have to rely on others stealing your commissions, ideas, or hard work. Corporate politics sucks life, creativity, and freedom out of you. Number 2, freedom to know the rules and set the rules so that you don't have to dance on eggshells and worry if you're overqualified or a threat to others. Number 3, freedom to select your own customers that have the same core values in life that you have. Wouldn't that be nice? Number 4, freedom to really challenge yourself and compete with yourself and know in your heart that there's no glass ceiling stopping you from progressing. Number 5, freedom to have the pride and peace of mind knowing that you will never, ever, ever, ever again get out of bed in the morning and tell yourself that you're going to work. Almost done here. Number 6, freedom of expression and the peace of mind knowing that you are allowed to focus on your personal, passionate pursuit of happiness. Number 7, freedom to spend time pursuing your charitable passion so you can leave the world a better place than when you entered it. Number 8, freedom to live and work from anywhere in the world. In this new digital reality, working abroad is now an option. Heck, go work in Paris or Hong Kong or Montreal if you want to. Please don't put off your entrepreneurship dreams anymore. Start writing your business plan right now, or tonight after this course, so you can enjoy the freedom to live your dream and to live life on your terms starting today. Okay. Now, I had to edit one sentence, which the editor of the publication Online Inc. Told me to remove, which was this. I'm going to say it now. Gary Vee swears in his Udemy presentations. I won't do it often. I don't ever want you or me to ever be someone else's bitch. Okay? Again. Crazy, I know. Sorry about that. So why was I always unhappy after the initial 3-month stage when I worked at a company? I was happy for the first 3 months because oh my God, I worked hard, I got this job, whatever. I changed careers, I did it. I was unhappy, and I realized finally for 2 reasons, but it took a lot of self-reflection to realize why. Number 1, I realized that if I came across as doing too good of a job, then other people wouldn't like that. Isn't that crazy? So I guess we're supposed to not put our heart into work when we work for someone else. Strange, hey? It's called corporate politics. I hate it. Okay, and number 2, There's a limit or a glass ceiling, so to speak, on what you can achieve in life working for someone else. And this is why big companies, where the founder is no longer there, especially in technology, can't innovate. Okay? I've got a good friend, and he spent 20 years working at Hewlett Packard. And he invited me to lunch, and I went to have lunch in the cafeteria there in Palo Alto. And by the way, HP's headquarters, the land underneath of it is worth $7 billion. A lot of people want to break the company up and sell that land for a while. But anyway, I digress. My friend was there 20 years at HP, and he said, I want to switch careers. I want to switch jobs. And I said, great. Let's talk about it, and let me help you. Help me help you, Jerry Maguire. He said, Chris, the problem is this, though. The only thing that I've learned or developed over the past 20 years is how to navigate HP politics. I didn't say this, but I thought, why the fuck did it take you 20 years before you realized that you wanted to switch careers, right? 20 years. You know, I looked around the HP cafeteria that day when I was having lunch with my buddy, and I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I'm in an episode of The Walking Dead here. I mean, it was sad. It was sad. And I'm so sorry if you work for HP, and it's probably a different company now. This was a little while ago. Okay. So I sincerely hope that the goal setting workshop in the next section really helps you find your real passion and purpose. Okay. And, you know, happiness and job success is never about intelligence here. Okay. It's about thinking long-term with your heart before your head. Okay. Now, my students with the top grades are never the most successful students. You know, the ones that chase their dreams and ignore the skeptics are always the most successful. You know, it's like love, which you want love to last forever. You know, when you're looking for love, you want it to last forever, okay? Love is when you think with your heart, okay? You find someone you love with your heart and you want to spend the rest of your life with them. You know, with a resume, we don't think with our heart. We think with our head, but let's start thinking with our heart. You know, not just in terms of the resume, but our career in general. Where do we want to be? You know, you need to let your heart and your passion for what you want to do every day for the rest of your life lead you and lead me. So please don't fucking hold back when I ask you to write your goals in the next section. Now, I don't know where you are in your life right now. You know, the average age that somebody starts a company in the United States is now over 50, which is awesome. But in business, you only have to be right one time, okay? So if I'm helping you get a job working for someone else in this course, you know, I do feel amazing and that I'm helping you, and I'm truly humbled. However, I have failed if this isn't the last job you ever accept, okay? And I hope it's nothing more than a stepping stone until you find your passion and purpose. You know, use that company that you're trying to get a job at like they're using you, okay? So failure is nothing more than a badge of honor to try again. And anybody that pisses on your dreams and goals is too chicken to take a chance and chase their own passion. Don't spend the rest of your life living someone else's. Don't let the bastards ever bring you down. So you live in a free country. So be free by following your heart in order to chase your passion and your purpose. You know, maybe you were meant to start a pharmaceutical company that will, I don't know, find the cure to cancer. You know, don't let anyone tell you can't. Maybe you're meant to start a satellite company that can beam unfiltered internet access into parts of the world where there are firewalls and women don't have rights. Maybe you will work with Malala and embrace technology to make the aforementioned statement a reality and empower the empowerers. That's one of my goals. And for those of you who don't know about Malala, she's one of my heroes. So she's a Pakistani activist, a female educator, and the youngest ever Nobel Prize winner. And so what I'll do is I'll include her very inspiring speech at the end of this section so you can watch it. And she wrote an incredible book called I Am Malala, the girl that stood up for education and was shot by the Taliban. Okay? And while you watch her speech, which again I'll include in this section, know in your heart, you know, that there are no limits to what you can achieve. So I want you to be bold, be brave, and believe in your heart that the goals you will write down in the next section are definitely achievable. So I ended the keynote that I gave at San Francisco State with this. I said, I hope none of you find a job. Then I paused, right? And people were kind of looking at me like, WTF, why the face? I said, I hope none of you find a job. I hope you all find a passion. And here's a great quote from JFK Kennedy. He said, the problems of the world cannot possibly be solved by skeptics or cynics whose horizons are limited by the obvious realities. We need women and men who can dream of things that never were and ask, why not? We need to think like our heroes do. So please enjoy, and please, please, please take your time with the next goal setting section. Thank you.